they're going to college or university doing a course that they're not really feeling. They don't like their boss, they don't like their colleagues, they're feeling demotivated. And this is the case for the majority of people in the UK and around the world. But on the flip side, we have what I see is a solution, and that is entrepreneurship, or a term that I've called entrepreneurship. And I've written a book called Entrepreneur to Entrepreneur, 100 Ways to Up Your Game. And it really explores why entrepreneurship is now a valid and a tangible option to employment. So back in the day, if you went to college, university, you had to come out and get a job, which is what's happening today. But the problem is that there aren't enough jobs to go around. So people are coming out with huge qualifications, PhDs, doctorates, first-class degrees, and they're signing on. They're out looking for work. They just can't find work. But in the last 5 to 10 years, we've realised that actually, maybe I can take what it is I'm good at and what it is I'm passionate on and turn that into a business, generate some income, generate some value, and build a business around these things. But the issue is that the majority of these businesses fail. 90% of businesses that start up and entrepreneurs that start up fail within the first few years. But in the last few years, since the recession, governments, countries, corporations have realised that we need more entrepreneurs. So what are we going to do? The world needs more entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs keep failing, day in, day out. There are people that start businesses and fail them, people that start projects and ideas and companies, and within a very short space of time, you ask them, oh, what happened to that business you started? Oh, well, this challenge and that challenge, or this excuse and that excuse. And this is happening to people around the world. I looked at this and I thought to myself, well, if we need entrepreneurs more than ever, but entrepreneurs keep failing, who's out there? Who's addressing this problem? Where is the solutions? And I couldn't find any. So I decided to use the limited experience that I had to try and answer some of these questions. And it ended up being 100 sayings that I came up with myself, which I believe show a modern take on the old and what I call, or what I think is a critically flawed model of entrepreneurship. Now, I'm not going to go through the 100 ways, right, to your relief. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what I think is central to entrepreneurship. And that is from the word ultra, to go beyond. To go beyond just thinking about making money and thinking about what I call the assisted aspects of entrepreneurship. So if in a football game the striker scores the goal, even though he's the one credited with scoring the goal, the rest of the players in the team assisted in making that happen. It's the same thing with being a good business person running a good enterprise. It's not just about profit, which is the goal, or making money, which is the goal. It's about all of the elements around you that enabled you to score that goal. But the problem is, most entrepreneurs, when they start out, don't look at the assisting elements. All they focus on is profit and making money. And this is where I believe a lot of them fail. So what I'd like to focus on is why this happens. And I think the reason why most entrepreneurs fail is because they stay within their comfort zone. So here, I've got my son Nick here with me, and he's just going to throw out a few keywords around why people stay within their comfort zone and outside their comfort zone, and I'll go into them a little bit more.
What if I can't?
So people in their comfort zone, internally or externally, they'll say to themselves, well, I know I should start a business, or I know that I'm good at doing X, Y, Z, but what if I can't? What if it doesn't work? What if I don't make that sale? What if I get turned down by the bank? What if I set up a stall at that event and nobody buys from me? Right? Now, one thing that being in business for some time has taught me, and there's a few people here who do network marketing, and some people give network marketing a bad name. But one of the greatest things I learned from network marketing is rejection, right? And dealing with rejection and overcoming that rejection, and just keep, almost like a bulldozer, just keep going forward, you keep moving. And it taught me that failure is a part of the process. The part of that journey of success, you will exhibit failure. So that idea of what if I can't becomes what if I can, right? You have to flip the idea, because what if I can't is a mindset that will limit you, to prevent you from doing almost anything, including getting up out of bed in the morning and facing the world, and actually taking those steps, those one step after the next that you know you need to get to success, right? What's next?
Fear.
And because of this what if I can't thing in our mind, we become very fearful. And a lot of us don't want to accept it, but there are a number of individuals who are actually afraid to become successful. And that might sound strange, but in my experience, there have been individuals who have been faced with success, faced with taking it to the next level, and they've been frozen. They've been disabled into taking the next step, into doing the thing that can take them to the next level. And a lot of the reason why they do that is because of an inherent belief within themselves that perhaps they don't deserve it, that they're not valuable enough, or that it should be for somebody else, right? And you'll see this a lot of the times. A lot of businesses don't make it or don't get to that stage because when the next level approaches you, so we all talk about, yeah, I'm going to take you to the next level, but when the next level approaches you, it will take you outside of your comfort zone. It will force you to do things that you're not necessarily comfortable with doing, confident about doing, or even think you're capable of doing. But the idea is that you feel the fear and you do it anyway. Next.
Settling.
So, what people who never take it to the next level, they, in their mind, think, you know what, it's okay, what I'm doing is fine. They settle for the status quo. And for some people, that's okay. But you need to, if you're going to do that, admit that you're happy settling with the status quo and happy settling where you are. Don't think to yourself, okay, year on year, I'm going to take it to the next level, I'm going to keep progressing, but you don't, because you really just want to settle. And, you know, settling and having a small business, a mom and pop side, all of that stuff is fine. And that is necessary. You know, this country is built on the income generated by small businesses, not necessarily growth or large, big corporations. So it's fine. But it's just about knowing in yourself, what is it you really want? Do you just want a business that pays the bills, put you on a holiday, or do you want to grow something that turns into a multi-million-pound phenomenon? Next.
90% of the population.
And the majority of us fall into this bracket, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the majority of us, a lot of the people in here fall into these brackets. Me and myself, I have experienced all of these challenges at some point. Some of them I'm still fighting with today. But you have to internalize and think to yourself, okay, what is it that I am actually struggling with? Yeah? What is it that's actually preventing me from taking it to the next level? What have we got next?
Survival.
And we sometimes just are happy going into survival mode. So we think to ourselves, boy, this is the wrong time to start a business, so I'm just going to go into survival mode. Or boy, you know, it's rough out there, or I've got this nice secure job, so I'm just going to stick in this job, right? And we go into survival mode. We never take the risk or become brave enough, dare I say it, to actually go out on a limb and make our dreams come true. Now, this idea of entrepreneurship and the 100 ways that I've come up with, together, collectively, I believe, put you in a space where you are comfortable existing outside of your comfort zone. Right? And I'll say that again. It puts you in a space where you're comfortable existing outside of your comfort zone. Unless you're comfortable outside of your comfort zone, you won't grow. You will not. You will never be able to take anything you're doing to the next level. Because again, going to the next level means that you will always challenge, you're always being presented with opportunities that make you feel uncomfortable. But that's what growth is about. So, some of the things that exist within outside of our comfort zone are
fearless.
So, you become fearless. You don't care if you fail. You don't care if somebody says no. You don't care if someone doesn't want to buy from you. You don't care if you start a business and it fails because you see it as a learning. You become fearless insofar as you don't let whatever insecurity is actually within you already, or the insecurities that people put on you, stop you from doing what you need to do. Next.
Excitement.
And you wake up with an excitedness. I guarantee you, when Monday morning comes, I cannot wait to get out of bed. Because I'm being challenged with new things all the time. Things that excite me, things that keep me going, things that keep me passionate. So that level of excitement I inject into the businesses that I look after, into the books that I write, into the speeches that I do, whatever it is. And that becomes infectious. And that infection gets people to help you on your journey. Because most entrepreneurs want to solve a problem which is a lot bigger than them. If you're not excited about the problem that you're solving, no one's going to come on board to help you solve that problem. Yeah.
The sky is the limit.
And you realise, you think to yourself, well, actually, anything is possible. And even though that's almost rhetoric, anybody says it, I'm not sure that people really believe that. I'm not sure that people really believe that the sky's the limit. We say it, but again, think to yourself, do you really believe that for yourself? You might think it for someone else. You might think it for the guy you see on TV or the guy you see driving around in a big car. But do you really think the sky is the limit for you? And unless you think that, then the ceiling will always knock you down.
What if I can?
Again, you don't think, what if I can't? You think, okay, what if I can do this? What if I dream about a solution? What if I dream about doing a business? And it does happen. We are trained a lot of the time in business to be quite risk averse. So we think about, if I go out on a limb, if I remortgage my house, if I sell my car to do this, if I don't go on these holidays, if I, don't buy any new clothes for a few years and I invest it into my business, right? A lot of us think, what if it fails? That's what a lot of us think. What if it fails? Many of us don't think, what if it becomes the biggest success that the planet has ever seen? How many times have you said that to yourself? What if my business becomes the next multi-million-pound venture? What if I'm worth $1 billion like Mark Zuckerberg? When do we ever put ourselves in those shoes and honestly believe that we can achieve it?
Dreams.
And in doing so, it means that, again, that corny phrase, your dreams coming true and all that kind of jazz, that starts to materialize. You start seeing things happen in your life and you think, wow, like, just a few years ago, I dreamt about that happening. And now I'm actually here and it's live and I'm doing it and it's real. And that motivates you to keep going.